Welcome to Beyond the Trailers coverage of the 2016 Academy Awards, giving you an in-depth look at the top categories. Today, Best Actor, or as we seem to be calling it this year, the Leonardo DiCaprio Award. Yes, while this year's Oscars has sparked quite the debate regarding diversity, it seems everyone can at least agree that this is finally Leo's year. Do you agree? You can voice your opinion in Beyond the Trailers' annual Oscar poll. There's a link in the video description. And right now, let's take a look at DiCaprio and his bridesmaids.
Bryan Cranston, Trumbo.
There are few actors who have squandered their fan bases quite like Bryan Cranston. White hot after playing Walter White, he followed up that legendary award-winning run with a bait-and-switch rolling Godzilla, voicing Poe's father in Kung Fu Panda 3, and Trumbo. Trumbo, though, is actually a nifty little film that's much more than the TV movie it appeared to be in the trailers. And while critics didn't seem to appreciate it, thankfully newbie distributor Bleecker Street Films did a much better job with one of their very first award campaigns than Open Road did with Nightcrawler last year. Trumbo took off like a rocket after it rocked the SAG nominations, but with the Golden Globes and then the Oscars, its nominations got whittled down to just one for Cranston. And to top it all off, it is yet to actually win anything. Yes, it would seem that Cranston, who's been working since the 1980s, is not having a J.K. Simmons moment. Come to think of it, I bet Simmons and Cranston find themselves in competition for the same roles a lot these days, and are even both in Kung Fu Panda 3. Seems Oscar win and iconic TV character balance each other out.
Matt Damon, The Martian.
If anyone's going to snag Leo's Oscar, it's this guy. Lucky for Leo, though, Matt Damon's already got an Oscar for co-writing Good Will Hunting, so the odds are still in DiCaprio's favor. Interestingly enough, The Martian and The Revenant aren't actually that far off from one another, with both actors portraying men stranded in unforgiving yet majestic environments. Plus, both have to solely command the attention of the audience for long periods of time. So to anyone else who wants an Oscar, I hope you're taking notes. Damon's role is more optimistic, which is why he won Best Actor in a Comedy or Musical at the Golden Globes, while DiCaprio's role is more tragic, which is why he won Best Actor in a Drama at the Golden Globes. But the Oscars only gives out one Best Actor award, and one guess as to which they gravitate towards more, optimism or tragedy. But while it's unlikely Damon will win, that he's such a tough challenger for DiCaprio only proves he's still one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, almost 20 years after he burst onto the scene at the Oscars.
Leonardo DiCaprio, The Revenant.
Now, if you think 20 years is a long time, that ain't nothing to DiCaprio. While he got his first big break on Growing Pains, he got his first Oscar nomination just shortly afterwards in 1994 for What's Eating Gilbert Grape at just 20 years old. And while DiCaprio initially seemed to be embarking on an impressive artsy career with The Basketball Diaries, Romeo and Juliet, and Marvin's Room, he inadvertently became a heartthrob movie star with James Cameron's Titanic, a film which got a slew of Oscar nominations and wins, yet where Leo was totally shut out. And thus began DiCaprio's love-hate relationship with the Academy. See, despite collaborations with Danny Boyle, Martin Scorsese, Sam Mendes, Clint Eastwood, and Quentin Tarantino, DiCaprio could not win a frickin' Oscar, despite his box office success, or perhaps because of it. See, sometimes the Academy likes to see big stars humbled, and with The Revenant, DiCaprio might have finally sacrificed enough. Yes, The Revenant's awards campaign is largely composed of sharing horror stories from the set. But DiCaprio is said to have campaigned particularly hard this year. And in a year when moviegoers have little interest in the nominees, the only reason for many people to tune in is to see fan favorite DiCaprio finally accept his Oscar.
Michael Fassbender, Steve Jobs.
Aha! This nomination is sweet revenge for Fassbender, who was like Sony's 8th choice for this role. Not to mention that when Sony was hacked, an email leaked where screenwriter Aaron Sorkin wondered if Fassbender was capable of putting butts in the seats. Plus, Sorkin likely feels that any actor starring in one of his films is guaranteed an Oscar nomination, and the fact that Fassbender isn't really a genuine contender to win only further proves Sorkin's initial reservations. And Sorkin might be right about all that. But in Fassbender's defense, Steve Jobs has been a bit of a disappointment all around, and certainly not worth all the real-life drama it caused between Sony's Amy Pascal and producer Scott Rudin. The Social Network, it is not. But Fassbender should just be grateful to have landed the nomination. His Macbeth was totally ignored, as this is his second one and establishes him as the type of actor that gets nominated, which will certainly help him continue to get more prestige work. And with all his blockbuster work like X-Men, Alien, and Assassin's Creed, odds are he'll end up pulling a Peter O'Toole, winning an honorary Oscar when he's in his 70s. Which will be pretty ironic considering his David is modeled after O'Toole's iconic Lawrence of Arabia.
Eddie Redmayne, The Danish Girl.
Well, it's a good thing Redmayne won last year because his chances this year are zero. See, last year, rumor was that Michael Keaton would win Best Actor for Birdman because the industry was already buzzing about Redmayne's performance in The Danish Girl, which had just begun filming. Everyone felt Redmayne was sure to win in 2016, so let Keaton win in 2015, until he didn't. And again, Redmayne is very lucky that's the way it went down, because The Danish Girl suffered an unforeseen turn of events. First, instead of leading the transgender movement, it suddenly found itself lagging behind, as real transgendered individuals stepped into the spotlight. In fact, The Danish Girl came under heavy criticism for not casting a transgender actress in the lead role. But is that the lead role? When The Danish Girl began screening at film festivals, i.e. the road to the Oscars, many felt it was really Alicia Vikander's movie, and in keeping with that initial reaction, Vikander is the movie's best bet for an Oscar win. Yes, like Carol, this film was supposed to be very forward-thinking, but while Carol ended up just coming across as antiquated, The Danish Girl has come across as being out of touch. Not a good look for Oscar. And those are the 2016 nominees for Best Actor. Do you agree that Leo has this in the bag? Be sure to leave your comments down below, as well as vote and be on the trailer's annual Oscar poll via the link in the video description. I'm Grace Randolph, and I hope you'll check out the rest of BTT's Oscar coverage right now.